Hello everyone. Welcome to you on my channel. I am currently serving in oil and gas sector and having an experience over 20 years in the field. Preparing different types of analysis and reports using different tools. My today's video is in continuation to the gap analysis tools. Today we will learn about the sixth tool, Burke Litwin Model, in detail. I have collected the data through research from different resources, like books, documents, research papers and website to make it more comprehensive for you to watch my video. In gap analysis video only brief information provided. Now we are going to learn in detail. Please watch video till end for clear understanding. You can watch my videos on my channel Think Future Academy and Resource of Educational Development separately. You can find the link below in description of this video. In this video today we will cover the following content. Number 1. Introduction. Number 2. Burke Litwin Model, 12 elements. Number 3. Burke Litwin Model. Number 4. How to start. Number 5. Key questions establishment for model. Number 6. The Burke Litwin Model as a framework. Number 7. Application of the change management model. Number 8. Advantages and disadvantages. Number 8. Conclusion. Number 9. Resources. Number 10. Feedback. There are 6 gap analysis tools to identify and close the gaps in business. Once we have identified what the gaps are, we need to look into why they exist and what we can do about them. Gap analysis tools you can use are as follows. We already learned about the McKinsey 7s, SWOT analysis, fishbone analysis, Pestel analysis and Nadler-Tushman's congruence model video already available on my channel. Today we will learn the sixth and last tool, which is Burke Litwin Model. Introduction of the model. It's all about defining and establishing a cause and effect relationship in the Burke Litwin model of organizational change. The model assumes that an organization's evolution is determined by 12 organizational factors. The approach was created in the 1960s by W. Warner Burke and George H. Litwin and is named after 2 organizational transformation consultants. It's a great change management tool for better understanding and viewing all parts of an organization from a change viewpoint. Many times, the various aspects are undervalued, and as a result, a change can have severe implications for both the organization and the people. Furthermore, the change model demonstrates how the various aspects are interlinked and influence one another. It's an open system theory, which assumes that changes are caused by external factors. Burke Litwin Model, 12 elements. The 12 key elements have been organized based on their specific roles within the organization. The model is designed in 4 main elements and then in sub-element, which are as follows. Number 1. Input elements. Number 2. Transformational elements. Number 3. Transactional elements. Number 4. Output. First I am going to discuss the input. External environment. External effects, according to the concept, are particularly crucial for organizational changes. Consider the economy, competitiveness, customer behavior, politics, and legislation, to name a few. When external impacts can be identified, it aids organizations in better understanding the direct or indirect effects and taking appropriate action. External factors are beyond the control of an organization. Now we will review the number 2 element, transformational drivers, and its elements one by one. Mission and strategy. This section explains the organization's goal as well as the methods that ensure the objective and course are met. The top level of management sets the vision, mission, and strategy for the firm. It is advised that the company always double-checks whether these are appropriate for the employees' positions. Leadership. This refers to the management positions that provide direction to the remainder of the company. Managers are in charge of creating a vision and encouraging their personnel. This can be addressed in the event of a shift by having information into critical positions. Organizational culture. Every company has its own set of ideals. This component is less formal than the mission and strategy, yet it is present across the organization. The culture of an organization contains both stated and implicit standards, such as policies, practices, beliefs, and etiquette. Now we'll review the transactional elements. Structure. This refers to the organization's hierarchical structure, identifiable departments, and formal communication routes. Responsibilities, authority, communication, decision-making, and control are all part of the position-oriented organization. Systems. This is about policies and procedures, which are tools used to assist and support personnel. Consider IT services, facilities management, and internal customer service. It covers both personnel and the actions of the company. Management practice. This refers to managers' actions and behaviors that are generally geared at carrying out the overall strategy. How well do managers follow the strategy, and how do they handle the resources available to them? What is their working relationship like? When it comes to management practice, these are all questions that come up. Working climate. This refers to how employees feel about their working environment. How do they feel about working together, how comfortable do they feel, and do they feel adequately rewarded for their efforts? When evaluating the working climate, it's critical to consider how well co-workers get along and how happy an organization makes its employees. Tasks and skills. It's all about the individual work needs and matching the job description to the competence of the personnel. What are the work criteria, and how well do they match an individual employee's talents and knowledge? It's all about matching the right people to the appropriate jobs. Individual values and needs. Employees' needs and expectations, such as salary, work-life balance, function within the organization, and responsibilities, are all part of this. It is concerned with employees' perceptions of the quality of their work and seeks to identify their needs. This may result in task expansion or even job enrichment, which means the person is given extra responsibilities. Motivational level. Setting goals and inspiring and engaging staff are all part of motivation. Employees who are inspired are more willing to devote their time and effort to the company. Output dimension examines individual employee performance as well as departmental and organizational performance. As previously stated, turnover, productivity, quality standards, efficiency, and customer happiness can all be used to assess this. Here you can see the Burke Litwin Model overview where each element falls. How to start? Preparing the Burke Litwin Model. First, we need to gather data on relevant boxes based on research and interviews with key stakeholders throughout the organization. Secondly, in a report for senior employees, summarize the findings. This report can then be used to determine which boxes correspond to which executives and managers, and it can be helpful in assisting them in comprehending the complex performance and change difficulties they are attempting to handle. Here we will establish the key questions to start the model based on each element. Let's start with external environment. What are the key external drivers? How are these likely to impact on the organization? Does the organization recognize these? Mission and strategy. What do top management see as the organization's mission and strategy? Is there a clear vision and mission statement? What are employees' perceptions of these? Leadership. Who provides overall direction for the organization? Who are the role models? What is the style of leadership? What are the perspectives of employees? Organizational culture. What are the overt and covert rules, values, customs, and principles that guide organizational behavior? How to start? Structure. How are functions and people arranged in specific areas and levels of responsibility? What are the key decision-making? Communication and control relationships? Systems. What are the organization's policies and procedures, including systems for reward and performance appraisal? Management information, HR, and resource planning, etc. Management practices. How do managers use human and material resources to carry out the organization's strategy? What is their style of management and how do they relate to subordinates? Work unit climate. What are the collective impressions, expectations, and feelings of staff? What is the nature of relationship with work unit colleagues and those in other work units? Task and individual skills. What are the task requirements and individual skills/abilities/knowledge needed for task effectiveness? How appropriate is the organization's job-person match? Individual needs and values. What do staff value in their work? What are the psychological factors that would enrich their jobs and increase job satisfaction? Motivation. Do staff feel motivated to take the action necessary to achieve the organization's strategy? Of factors 1 to 10, which seem to be impacting most on motivation? Individual and organizational performance. What is the level of performance in terms of productivity, customer satisfaction, quality, etc.? Which factors are critical for motivation and therefore performance? Now we will review as per the diagram the Burke Litwin model as a framework. The Burke Litwin model of organizational change is a paradigm that distinguishes and presents four element groupings within organizations in columns. The model's backbone is often referred to as the center column. A column on the left contains the so-called hard elements, which are physical and measurable, while a column on the right contains the so-called soft elements, which are primarily abstract. The top four elements, often known as transformative factors, are concerned with the entire organization. A corporate culture can be defined as a set of deeply ingrained practices and organizational features. Every change that occurs here has far-reaching implications for the entire organization. As a result, a long-term change has an impact on the entire organization. The organization's structure, including department division, is represented by the middle four parts. The transactional factors are another name for these. This refers to the day-to-day activities that occur in organizations, as well as their mutual cohesion. Who is in charge of what, and how are departments and their interdependencies organized? The organizational structure and management levels impact and drive all actions in this group. The final component is the performance. These are about individual and organizational performance, with a focus on organizational output. The majority of the time, performance is measured in terms of turnover or profit percentages. At the same time, performance can be measured in terms of the volume of things produced or the level of customer pleasure. Application of the change management model. Burke Litwin is a writer. The organizational change model is focused on evaluating organizational and environmental elements that can be tweaked to ensure a successful transition. The external environment is frequently the most important factor that affects organizational transformation. As a result, organizations must alter and adapt their mission and strategy, as well as the culture and structure of their organizations. The Burke Litwin model of organizational change is a useful tool for managing change in organizations. This necessitates determining which element group is responsible for the change. Then, inside that element group, the specific element must be found and analyzed. After that, you can see how this has affected other elements. The action plan can now be used to take action. Now we will discuss the advantages of the model. The model clarifies the key factors behind any change. It provides useful framework for organizational change management in which to orient managers' idea and plans. The model integrates many major change factors. The model presents causal relationships as compared to many other models that are purely descriptive. The key factors in the model with dependencies between them have high practical value in practice. The model distinguishes between the set of variables that influence and are influenced by organizational climate and those included by organizational culture. Here we will discuss the disadvantages of model. The model is quite complex and could be difficult to analyze. The environmental factors that drive changes are not always the case. Many organizational changes are triggered by internal factors or leadership and not the external environment. Many critics of model view that oversimplification of different change factors produces subfactors, which actually makes it more complex model. Conclusion of the model. Diagnostic models were created as a method of approaching change in a scientifically predictable and dependable manner. The Burke Litwin Model, for example, takes an incisive approach to diagnosing the organization by assessing several components that influence the internal and external environment. Feedback. I hope you enjoyed this video, and before leaving, if you have not already subscribed this channel, make sure to subscribe, like and hit the bell icon to get updates when I post new videos. Provide your feedback in comments. Join social media on following links.